If you're watching this for the first time, this is Snippet Gambia, and I'm sure you're wondering as to what Snippet Gambia it's all about. Before we get into it, I first of all want to wish everyone watching this a Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2021. And remember, as we get into 2021, Snippet Gambia is going to come to you full-fledged. Every single one of our episodes, and episode 1 is coming to you in January, and then we're going to get the ball rolling as we keep coming to you every now and then. But I'm sure you're thinking what Snippet Gambia is all about. You just hear snippet. As we all know, snippet is an extract from something. It can be anything. But Snippet Gambia is an extract that's going to be coming to you that looks deep into the life of filmmakers in the Gambia, the life of actors and actresses, how movies are being made in the Gambia. Because one painstaking fact is knowing that with all the work being done by filmmakers in the Gambia, when you look at the population of Gambia of 2-point-something million people, not even 30% of that population, takes interest in Gambian movies. Not 30% of the country's population do watch Gambian movies or even talk about Gambian movies. And it is frustrating. It is hard. It is really tough on the filmmakers. It's tough on the actors. And it's tough even on ourselves, because the movie industry is a marketplace that could boost the economy of the country. But why is it that we're not taking it seriously? That's what Snippet Gambia is all about. We're going to be talking about the life of the filmmakers, the life of the actors and actresses. We're going to be looking at movies being made in the Gambia, movies in progress of making, and even projects that are on the pipeline of coming. We're going to be going behind the scenes of the films that are being done in the country, and we look at how movies are made in the Gambia. Are we following the standard regulations of filmmaking internationally? Well, we're going to talk all about it. But today, this is just a tip of the iceberg of what Snippet Gambia is all going to be. It's going to be about. I just want to, first of all, let us look at the old thing about film industry. What is the film industry? Because the biggest debate in the Gambia has been, does Gambia have a film industry? So today we're going to talk about whether Gambia has a film industry. We're going to also look into what qualifies a film industry before even talking about whether we have a film industry or not. Because a lot of arguments have been going on. Some people say Gambia doesn't have a film industry. Some say Gambia has a film industry. But there has never been a generally accepted theory as to what to classify what we have in the Gambia. And we're also going to talk about how films are made in the Gambia and what is the way forward if we are to get to where we want to go to in terms of filmmaking globally. What is the way forward for the Gambia? And a little bit, episode 1 of Snippet is going to take us into, but maybe we'll even tap a little bit into it today, but we're going to look a little bit into, the fall of what we have in the Gambia, because it's unfortunate that I'm calling it the fall of what we have in the Gambia, because in terms of progress when it comes to, matching up with the international market, we've not been there. And some might frown at me saying this, but it's high time we tell ourselves some facts. And that's just what it is. And we're also going to look as to how associations can come together. We're going to talk about the whole thing of collaboration, and we're going to look into how they break, how the making of our films is breaking us instead of making us. Because end of the day, when you do a movie, you expect to make it. You expect to turn it into something good. Talk about your return revenue and all that and stuff. But do we even have a market in the Gambia in the first instance? Well, that all we're going to get into in Snippet Gambia. And finally, before we wrap it all for today, we're going to look, probably feature a movie that was made in 2017, and we will reveal the movie to you. But for now, stay with us. This is Snippet Gambia, and hi, I'm Mr. Genius. All right, to begin with, let us ask the big question, the big debate that's been on the lips of every filmmaker, every actor, every actress in the Gambia. Does Gambia have a film industry? But first of all, the first question I want to ask, what is a film, what qualifies a film industry? You know, before you talk about whether we have a film industry or not, let's look into some of the things that actually qualify, you know, a film industry, the motion picture industry. What are the things that are needed? You know, firstly, you talk about production houses. You talk about commercial interest and all that. How much commercial does the Gambia have when it comes to marketing and distribution? Do we have platforms to market and distribute? You talk about cinematography. Yes, we have good cinematographers, but you talk about equipment. Do we have the necessary equipment to be able to do the kind of jobs that will compete internationally? Well, I would say no, we don't. You know, and when you look all these factors being put together, you talk about the production houses, you talk about the equipment, you talk about the expertise, you talk about the film studios, you talk about marketing and distribution platforms. We don't have it all. On that basis, I would say we're trying to grow, but to say we have a film industry when we cannot even boast of a single market to distribute our project, our products, then how comes we always argue with the fact that Gambia has a film industry? You know, it is very hurting. Because if all the sectors being mentioned, you talk about having a film studio, you talk about having production houses, you talk about having, you know, equipment that can do the job perfectly. All this being put together, it's not there. Then I do not classify what we have as a film industry. I stand to be corrected. But it is important that we know that what we have so far is a process in line of making a film industry, but not a film industry. Many will defer to that, but it's just how it is. And I feel the earlier we're able to tell ourselves some few facts is good for all of us. Do you know that 90% of movies, now let's talk a bit about how films are made in the Gambia. To just put together that my assertions that we don't have a film industry. Let's talk about how films are made in the Gambia. Now, 90% of movies made in the Gambia, if not 95% of movies made in the Gambia, do not follow the international standard of filmmaking. The regulations are missing. We do not follow the international standard of filmmaking. It is in the Gambia, you will find a single filmmaker acting as the director, the lead actor, the camera operator, the director of photography, the set designer, every single thing, even becoming the editor of the work. And then you say you are doing a movie. You gotta be joking me. But if you find yourself in that position, and then you realize, okay, you go through the whole process, and then, you know, a film is made. You're like, yeah, I did my movie. It's good. What qualifies a good movie? What do you call a good movie? I don't believe that a director can perform the role of a lead actor at the same time, wants to be the camera operator or assistant camera operator, because when they're acting, they need someone to be operating the camera. I cannot qualify that to be a standard way of doing movies. That is one of the reasons why we are lacking behind. In the Gambia, I've seen production houses being run by an individual based on the fact they want to gather a few dollars for themselves to be able to pay their house rent or able to go out to clubs and stuff like that, or just being able to sleep with the girls they have in the production houses. We've seen that in the Gambia. Do we then stand and argue that we have an industry in this country? Think. Let's be realistic with ourselves. The high time we tell ourselves, listen, the least that someone wants to hear, everyone wants to hear least negativity about their country. No one wants to be hear the negative energy that is popping out. Now, we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't hear. But the earlier we're able to tell ourselves a few facts, the better for all of us. Because Gambia can never grow if we're not able to tell ourselves the truth. And the way to the next level is being truthful to ourselves. So for now, we do not have a film industry, but we have a growing passion that will eventually move into becoming a film industry. A big question that I want to ask, what will it take for Gambia to move to that next level? It was a question someone actually asked me. He said, as a filmmaker, as a director yourself, what do you think the Gambian needs to be able to move to that next level? It was a big question for me to answer. I couldn't fathom the words out. I couldn't say a word within that moment because there is so much that we need. So much. But again, we think there's so much that we need. There's a key that is missing. And the key that is missing is collaboration. That's the key that is missing. Now, quite recently, we had a meeting where we had, a filmmaker, from the international scenes came in. We all gathered together, anticipated a lot of things that are going to happen, they're going to change and all that. And we were having a film talk as to how we can get things better. And then, even though I know this before, but I do not classify Gambia in that spec. The person said, the industry is the jungle. So everyone has got to be by himself. Then I laughed about it. I laughed about it because I look Gambia as a tiny little country that could be able to do so much if we do not see too many competition within ourselves, but rather we collaborate in building what we haven't had before, what we don't have, we build it. Then later we can think about competing to make it better. But we don't even have it in the first instance. And then we want to compete for something we don't have. Does that make sense? Well, everyone thinks they know better in Gambia anyways. but realistically speaking, we have too many CEOs on the little corner feeling too insecure to be able to collaborate with their fellow filmmakers. And then we're not going anywhere. Because everyone feels that whatever work they're doing, and the movies they're making, is better than the next man's movie. No one wants another director to come on their set and give their input. No one wants another actor to come on their set and give an input. Everyone thinks like they are, how do I even put it? They're superhuman. Whereas, in terms of expertise, we're like 0.5 out of 100 as of now. In terms of equipment, we're 0.1 over 100 as of now. Now, don't get me wrong. The whole point is, for instance, if you as a filmmaker has a target, the first thing, when you even have a script, the first thing that has to come at the back of your mind is to identify your audience and then try to create an understanding of your market. If you don't have an understanding of your market as to where your movie is going to go, it makes no point in you making the movie. Because end of the day, it's not about just opening the camera and start rolling, have an actor in front of your screen, on 5, 3, 2, 1, and you say action, they do it, and then you think you do 1, 2 cutting and pasting together, you do 1, 2 graphic effects, and boom, your movie is out. That is not just what filmmaking is about. How often do filmmakers sit down and talk about their lighting? How often do filmmakers sit down and talk about their sound equipment that they're using? How often do filmmakers sit down and talk about the different lenses for the different shots that they're thinking about taking on the script? We're talking about expertise here. Every angle or every shot has a lens. Do you know that as a filmmaker? Every shot you're taking, there's an average, there's a distance measured between the camera and the actor. The framing has to be right. How often do we talk about our framing in Gambia? We don't. It's all about opening the camera, action, film is made. We got to go back to the drawing board. And we cannot go to the drawing board thinking that Gambia is a jungle. We don't have a jungle. We will begin to have a jungle when we have an established film industry. Then we can compete with each other to make the industry better. But until then, let us inculcate the habit of collaboration and then start telling Gambian stories that speak to not just the Gambian people, but speak to the international market, that will get the likes of the Netflix and the DSTV to take an interest in coming to the Gambia and sourcing out product, not waiting for us to be begging them to come to the Gambia. Nigeria does not beg DSTV or Netflix to come in there anymore. Senegal, who is our closest neighbor, is having a movie on Netflix. Do we have a Gambian movie on Netflix? We don't. Do we possess what it takes to have a movie on Netflix? I believe we do, because we have incredible filmmakers in this country. But we just got to sit down, master our craft properly, and then we're able to figure out that which the market needs, and we bring it out to the market. Because Gambia is still a virgin land, yet to be exploited. And we have the upper hand, because we're here right now. Let us exploit this virgin land, and let us make movies that people will start appreciating. And then we will be able to compete with the international market. And when we put our work out there, listen, I am tired of always saying Gambian actors and actresses, struggling to even go on set. They have to be begging for lift or begging for transport. Even we, the filmmakers ourselves, sometimes we trek to go on set. And then you think we have an industry? How often do you see a Gambian actor being paid 15, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 dollars? Our actors don't even get paid $1,000. And yet still you say we have an industry. Filmmakers end of the work after investing little whatever they're able to gather here and there to make a movie. They don't even make 10 or 20% out of it. And yet still you say we have a film industry. Think. All right? This is a wake-up call for all of us. Let us go back to the drawing board and start doing what needs to be done. And then Gambia will be where we're thinking about. All right, enough with that. It's been fun, it's been crazy, it's been nice, but I want to take you back to something interesting. I just want us to go quickly and into one of our drawers on Snippet Gambia. As we go on with Snippet, we're going to be bringing work being done by filmmakers in previous years and years to, even movies that are in the making. We're going to be bringing them to you. But today, we're going to feature a movie from 2017 done by Affinity Production in collaboration with Soup D Movies from Sierra Leone and Dream Achievers Production in the Gambia. This is Beyond Grid. Watch out.
Did I tell you you look stunning?
No, I don't think so.
She is so beautiful. I've already proposed. I truly love this girl, and I want her to be my wife.
When exactly are we going to meet this your mysterious girlfriend?
Tomorrow, Father.
It was a surprise. Though I suspected it, we went on our first date, and then we proposed.
everybody that you're marrying that girl. You are not marrying her, and that is final.
There is something you don't know about them, especially Janke.
What about her? Tell me.
This bag belongs to the chief. It contains more than $1 million.
What's wrong with proposing to the woman I claim I love?
Everything is wrong, Jamil. Every freaking thing.
I got it. It is right here. I want you to keep it safe. Okay, I will get him to sign this, okay?
Janke is not good for you. There are many other girls out there you could easily pick from. Not Janke. Don't ruin your life.
Janke has never been honest her whole life. Not even at gunpoint.
I still can't believe this.
If she goes down, I'm not going down with her. She can go to hell for all I care.
You tried to kill my father and run away with my money?
I will never give up.
Don't you dare hurt my son!
All right. Now quickly, as we take a look at the film, what do you think can be would have been better? You know, don't you think? Did you think if we had the exact or the right equipment for this work, it wouldn't have been better than this? Now, if you look at the work itself, those that were able to witness the premiere of Beyond Greed, you will attest to the fact that one major issue that the film suffered from is sound. Now, if we had worked on it properly, if we had the right equipment to make it, then we wouldn't have had that problem. Because in terms of the expertise, this movie can boast of some of the greatest work being done by filmmakers in the Gambia. Forget about the fact that I'm part of it as a director, but this film featured a host of new faces that have never graced the screen before. For instance, the likes of Queenie B, Abu from Abu and Fafa. These are first-time actors on the scene, but they had a short time to rehearse, and they went ahead and did a movie, and this movie has even won awards. Like Abu for instance, has gone on to win Best Supporting Actor in the Special Movie Awards in 2018. This is to tell you how good and how great these people worked on this movie. But it is missing some key elements. Not because of expertise. It's missing equipment. It's missing investment. It's missing coordination. That's what is missing from this movie. Now, if all these things are being put together, for instance, if we had 3 or 4 or 5 filmmakers together, put their resources, or let's say we have government deciding to invest in work, in creative work in the Gambia, and then that investment comes into this work, it would have been better than this. We would have had a better sound, a better picture even than this one. But hey, kudos to the filmmakers and kudos to Affinity Production, Soup Day Movies from Sierra Leone, and Dream Achievers Production. In fact, Dream Achievers, Aissatou Bokoum, is the script writer, and she also co-producer, and she acted in it also. You know, and it was one hell of a story. Those that were part of it will tell for fact that there's never been a set like Beyond Greed, and they still anticipate for another set like Beyond Greed. All right, that's that about Beyond Greed. Now, if you've never watched the movie before and you wanna view it, stay tuned. We're gonna be bringing you a snippet of it on, or we're gonna be bringing you extracts of it on Snippet. But if you wanna watch it, check Aissatou Bokoum's vlog. If you check Aissatou Bokoum's vlog, Beyond Greed is gonna be there, and a lot of other work from the past is gonna be there. But always make sure you check Snippet, because we're gonna be bringing you extract from pieces of work being done by filmmakers in the country. And if you joined us for the first time and you've been here, you've watched this video, remember it is together, collaborating, that we can better improve the Gambian film industry. And I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget, subscribe and click the notification bell. All right? For more of our videos, stay tuned. This is Snippet.